for companies with multiple biosimilars in their pipelines, is platforming an option? Can we reach a point where the regulatory bodies accepts a standardized manufacturing chassis for different MABs, or does the interchangeability burden force every process to be bespoke?
Well, I think to some extent, as I mentioned earlier, most monoclonals are manufactured using the same downstream process. Upstream processes can vary somewhat, but ultimately most biosimilar manufacturers that I'm aware of are platforming and they're platforming as much as they can. Let's say it that way. And so the cell culture upstream processes are very similar. Again, there are lots of parameters you can adjust, but typically we're headed toward either perfusion processes or fed batch processes that may be inoculated from a high intensity perfusion culture. So if a biosimilar developer is going to be successful with that approach, they're going to try that approach across multiple products if it's successful the first time around, and kind of make the adjustments where necessary. I would expect all the downstream processes to be very similar. So there are lots of efficiency gains from that, where the same equipment can be used for most of these products. For the most part, they'll have to change the product contact resins and filters and all that sort of thing. But in general, the infrastructure equipment is all going to be the same. So lots of benefits from that. And then the really large scale developers and manufacturers are the ones that are manufacturing it as high as 15, 20,000 liter cell culture scales, which is massive. But many biosimilar products are manufactured at significantly smaller scales than that, because of the high titers achieved and the intensities of the upstream processes achieved these days. So in a short answer would be, yeah, I think a certain amount of platforming is going to be expected, and we're seeing that already, I think.
Very good. Heather, we are running short on time, but there is still one more poll question. I wonder if we could throw that up here and see if maybe we could squeeze that in here before we wrap up here today. And while our audience is looking at that poll question, Vince, I wanted to just stick with you for one more minute. I'm thinking about that, the possibility that the FDA may come to a company and say, okay, it looks like you've, this is a completely hypothetical situation, but you're using a single-use bioreactor when, the reference product uses a steel bioreactor. Your product is it's still similar, but no longer interchangeable. Is that a serious risk? Are these companies at risk of kind of engineering themselves out of a market?
Yeah, I don't. I don't really think so. In hearing Diana's and Cecilia's discussion around interchangeability and that side of things early on, I think as long as the biosimilarity piece is well understood and the process, the manufacturing process is robust, well understood. All the parameters are well mapped to the different quality attributes that they impact, and there's good understanding of the process. I think it's possible to either scale up or optimize a biosimilar process. I think in most cases the biosimilar process is kind of set up as an initial commercial process, and I don't know how much optimization there is after that, because they're pretty much highly optimized when they start out, versus originator products, which typically really haven't been over the years. So I don't think there's a huge danger there, but I'd be interested to hear what Cecilia and or Diana would have to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, I
Cecilia.
agree. I think, yeah, exactly. I agree with what you just said. As long as, you know, the analytical data package is supportive, then I also don't see it's a big risk.